Okay, so today I have a lot to cover. This is basically like 10 points that I think is really important, or 10 reasons why a woman never wants to know that she is your only option. What guys don't understand is that there's a different level of energy and aura and vibe and spirit that you bring to the table when you have options and when you know that you have options, and when you're not committed to just one woman. You have to understand this. You are going to be bringing a different level of vibe, energy, and aura, and they can feel that. They can feel that competition. Now, before I get into my story from yesterday when I was on a date, I want you to be very aware of this. Women can read your energy. They feel your energy and they sense your energy. So even if she claims, oh, I hate when a guy has options, I hate when I'm not his only priority, I want him to be loyal, I want this, I want that, everything that they say, if you watch their actions and specifically where their time goes, okay, because that's really what it comes down to. It's where a person's time goes. Where a person's time goes in real life shows what they find important. So if she's giving a specific guy time, she likes him. Now keep this in mind, even if she claims he has all these bad habits, these bad traits, he's not loyal, he's not committed, I wish he wasn't like this. If you notice she is still giving him time, energy, and attention, and she is wanting to see him or she is seeing him, it doesn't matter what she says, her actions speak louder than her words. So yesterday I'm in the truck, or I have a truck, I'm driving my truck, and the woman who I've been dating for a couple months, or I've been seeing, she was in the passenger seat, and I could feel her energy was different during the entire time that she was in my truck, because before, when we were out eating, I got a notification on my phone from a different woman, and she goes, "Who's that?" And then I could tell in the vehicle, right, her energy was just a little different. But here's what I noticed. She wasn't rude. She wasn't trying to be mean, and when she got out of the vehicle, she gave me a kiss goodbye. Well, what does that mean? That means despite the frustrated energy, there was still desire. So the first thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you my golden rule, and then I'm going to show you the 10 reasons why you never want to only be seeing just one woman when you're dating, okay? My golden rule is this: never see only one woman at a time. And I'm going to explain why. Your energy changes, your aura becomes different, everything about you starts to change, okay? Keep that in mind. So, number one, the first reason why you do not want to only see just one woman at a time is because men who only see one woman move with a different energy. The energy that they are going to be moving with in their interactions, in their text messages, in their phone calls is going to be more reactive, and the woman can tell that he is calculating. Right? Because if that's your only option, you're going to be calculating what to say and how you want to navigate the interaction because you have fear of loss. Okay, it's just like in sales. Let's say you have a car salesman. If he hasn't been selling a lot of cars, and then that dude gets one person in the door to potentially buy a vehicle, well, what's going to happen? He's going to really be calculating what he should say in order to hopefully get this deal done. The same goes for when a man is pre-selected and dealing with multiple women versus only seeing one. The guy who is seeing only one woman moves with a different type of energy. You can study all the tactics, you can study all the theories about, game that you want. It's not going to matter, which brings me to point number two. The best game and the best tactics, okay, will never make up for the aura you give off when you're only seeing one woman. The aura and the energy that you naturally give off, that she can start to feel through your subconscious actions or just your actions day to day, your subconscious communication. And when I say subconscious communication, it's the little things. It's how you look at her. It's how you say certain things. It's how your eyes appear to be moving when you're talking to her. It's how your eyebrows are raising up or down, how engaged you are into the conversation. All of those little amounts of sub-communication add up. That gives her an idea of if you have options or not. So a lot of guys, they think that if they just had the perfect, step-by-step plan or process to just maintain the interest of that one woman, and they said the right things, that they would have a far better chance and a far better opportunity. But what you have to remember is this: Your state of energy changes when you're only seeing just one woman, especially if you really like her. Like if you think she's beautiful and you think she's feminine and you think that you really would like a relationship with her or to be with her, your energy is going to show that. And there's no amount of strategy, there's no amount of processes or tactics that can fix that. You have to be at a place of abundance. It helps you feel better. It helps you have options. If you only have one option, it's going to show through how you communicate and how you show up, okay? Now, number 3, this is the third reason to never just see one woman at a time. What you have to know is this: she may complain, but you need to watch her actions. There is a very high chance that she will complain. She will say, why can't you only see me? Why are you not with me? Why are we not committed? I would make such a great wife. I would make such a great girlfriend. Okay? But if you watch her actions, what you're going to notice, you are still going to be getting her desire oftentimes as well as her respect, because you've positioned yourself as a person with options in the first place. When you come from a point of life of abundance where that's your mindset day to day, she sees that she has to put in some effort in order to win you over. Your attention in the first place seems way higher value than all the other guys who she could potentially be with. So despite her complaining about these things, the reason why this is point number 3 is because you still have to remember you're moving differently. Your vocal tone isn't fluctuating as much. All these little things matter. So what you have to remember every single day, every single week, is you keep constantly telling yourself, well, let's look at her actions. Let's look at her actions. Is she still replying to text messages? Is she still calling? Is she still wanting to go out on a date? Is she still wanting to see me? Does she seem like she still has romantic interest in me? If you are saying yes to a lot of those things, well, what's going to happen is you need to only pay attention to that. A lot of times guys think that they have dating problems when in reality they don't. Your mind is just telling you that you do because you have fear of loss, because that might be your only one option, and that is not good, okay? That's never good. So that's number 3. Number 4, texting and your communication with conversations, the cadence changes when you're seeing multiple women. So this is the biggest thing that I notice over the years after dating, because there's been times in my life where I've had exclusive girlfriends, where I was committed and that was the only woman I was seeing. And there was other periods of time in my life where I didn't have a girlfriend, okay? So here's what I noticed. My communication cadence and pattern of how often I would communicate changes almost automatically when I am communicating, whether that be on text message or whether I'm speaking. If there's multiple that I'm talking to, the communication pattern changes and she can feel that. So what I would notice is, like, if there's multiple people I'm text messaging, all of a sudden a couple days might go by and I don't reply to a couple of them. And they can feel that. They can feel that disconnect. Even if my words would have been the exact same, if that was the only woman I was seeing or the only woman that I was dating, or she was my girlfriend, let's say, I notice the communication pattern changes. Sometimes I'm very responsive, almost accidentally, and then sometimes I'm just not responding because I'm doing something else. Well, in that period of time where I'm not responding, okay, they can feel that there's a what if factor. What if he is seeing somebody else? Now, here's where things change a little bit. If you were only seeing that one woman, or you were dating her, or she was your girlfriend, what would happen is you naturally, since that's the only person you're talking to, you will naturally just over communicate. So if you're only seeing, just one woman, well, here's the thing, you might not even be over validating, but it's the little things, right? It's like you all of a sudden liked that one text message, or you gave that one text message a heart. When before, if that same woman would have sent you that message when you're talking to multiple, maybe there's a chance that Friday night you were busy for the whole night, and then you didn't get to that text message until the next day to like that message or to heart that message. They are not used to that. They're used to guys consistently pursuing for relationships or becoming very overly invested into the whole interaction in the first place. So your texting communication cadence as well as your speaking cadence is going to change in real life as well as over the phone when you see multiple, because you move differently. And what she can start to sense is that your texting and all of the communication is sporadic. It's like sometimes she hears from you frequently, sometimes she doesn't. And she's like, well, what are you up to? What's been going on? Who are you seeing? What have you been up to? Why haven't I heard from you? Okay? Now keep in mind, there's a lot of women where they'll maintain a variety of options too, and they do these same things naturally as well. But the second that you do them, since she can recognize that behavior that she does, they know how to spot it. She will know how to spot that behavior because she's seen it before, because oftentimes they do it. Keep that in mind. That's number 4. Now, number 5, here's what also happens. The 5th reason why you do not want to let a woman know that she's your only option is because you will actually start to leverage silence and absence without realizing it. I'm going to read that one more time. You will leverage silence and absence without realizing it. So you will actually appear to be more powerful in your communication and in your interactions. You're coming from a place of strength. So when I say you're able to leverage silence and absence, well, what does that mean? That means that women are used to men over-communicating how much that guy would like to see her, over-communicating where he stands with her and his investment level. Well, when I say you'll leverage silence and absence without realizing it, let me give you an example. Let's say you're talking to, let's say, a couple different women, maybe 2 or 3 different women, right? And let's say, Friday night comes and you have a date with one of them. Well, the other 2 don't hear from you then that night because you're on your date. And then they wonder what you're up to. So it's not even that you're using a tactic as like, oh, I'm going to just be silent. It's like you're occupied, right? So it puts you at a better position and it gives you more leverage because you don't feel the need to communicate because you have things going on. Okay, so then there's a lot of emotions that could create with that woman. It could create emotions of jealousy. It could create emotions where she doesn't know if someone else you view as more attractive than her. A bunch of different things. And then naturally she'll actually start to place your attention that she gets from you on the pedestal over the other dude's attention that are just willingly giving it to her. So you'll leverage silence and absence better without realizing it. It's like before you would be available because that's your only option that you're talking to, but now you're absent by accident because you're not there because you're with somebody else. If you really want something, you don't get it. But when you desire nothing and when you're willing to let time go by, you obtain most of the things that you want effortlessly without even doing anything. So the secret really is not to care. So number 5, you'll leverage silence and absence without even realizing it. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to appear more powerful in your communication. Now, point number 6, you start to realize something else about women and female nature that you probably didn't know before until you started seeing multiple, or you started to develop multiple options. You will start to see that women do not get attached to the healthy relationships that they could have. Women will typically get attached to the chase of something new. When she sees that something is new, something is more fun, something is more spontaneous, something feels better, that new person who she could have, she starts to wonder what life might be like with him. Okay, so you're going to start to see that women will start to actually pursue you more just because you're less available. You're going to start to notice that women will pursue you more because you seem harder to get. Now notice, this is completely irrelevant when it comes to your flirting. This is completely irrelevant when it comes to any of that stuff. A lot of times even flirting or demonstrating that you have interest in the first place will potentially lower your perceived status or value in her eyes, because flirting is a sign of investment. That's a sign of showing love. That's a sign of showing care. And typically, here's what you got to understand, is she's going to want who she wants regardless. There's nothing that you can do about that. Who she wants is who she wants. You might as well position yourself as a guy who has the chance of actually getting the relationships that you want, instead of just being left for somebody else who she goes and chases because it's new, or who she wants to pursue because it's new. So you're going to start to see that when women have a healthy relationship where he's loving, he's loyal, he's caring, that becomes boring. She starts to question why he doesn't have multiple options, and then she starts to doubt his value because she says, well, hey, why are you with me in the first place? Why don't you have multiple options? Or why did I even get selected? Now, all of this brings me to point number 7. Hypergamy loves competition. You will watch and you will notice that when there is competition, like I said with point number 3, she may complain, but you need to watch her actions. Okay? Hypergamy loves the competition. So she will say, I hate that there's competition. I hate that this guy has other options. I hate that, it's like this. But if you notice where she puts her time, she's going to consistently pursue him, or that's the guy that she's thinking about. This isn't something that she can even change. This is just how it tends to happen when it comes to attraction. Now, number 8, this is something that most men do not understand when it comes to commitment, okay? Commitment, loyalty and love to a relationship, commitment shows that that's your best option, or that's the best that you can do. And here's the funniest thing about this. If you talk to some women, they may even tell you, like I've had this happen to me personally when I've been dating. I've had women who say things like, he proved to me that he loved me because he would constantly say, oh, you don't know how many options I had before I committed to you. And a lot of times, secretly, deep down, the woman that he's dating, part of her actually prefers that she would have been one of the women who he stopped talking to as well, due to the fact that this would have created deeper level feelings that she would have had towards him. Women know that when they're not selected, it increases her desire. So part of her wishes she would have even felt that for that guy, but she was the one that guy chose. So this is what you're going to hear. You're going to see things like this. You're going to hear things like this the more that you date. You're going to start to see how this actually happens, or how things play out. Number 9, okay? There is no return by being with one. Okay, there's really no return. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to have to work way harder to maintain her desire level. Like way harder. You're going to have to work way harder to maintain her desire level. Now, simultaneously, as you are working harder to maintain that relationship, you're going to notice that her romantic interest decreases. So there's not a lot of benefit for you. Okay, you're working harder to maintain her interest level, or to keep the relationship going, while simultaneously her romantic interest decreases. This will not work out well for you, okay? And then number 10, okay? What you really have to know, and I saved the best for last, the real reason why a woman never wants to know that she is your only option is because they will never be appreciative of you in the first place. They're never going to appreciate all of the sacrifices that you had to make by not putting as much time into your career, or whatever the case may be, and not putting that time into other places when you chose to put it into the relationship, or when you chose to spend that time with her. They will never appreciate that. They're never going to appreciate the things that you actually did for them. So because of that, there's not a lot of benefit. So what I've been doing to help guys with this at an even deeper level is I've been showing them how to learn, understand, and master the language of women. And today we just crossed 1,330 members, maybe even a little bit more. I'll put the exact number up on the screen right now, what we just got to today. But yeah, this has been amazing because I'm watching all of these guys start to actually learn these processes. And here's the coolest thing about the language of women is what I've done is I've created a step-by-step process that any guy can follow at every single point of the interaction. So this has been amazing. This community grew really fast. Not too long ago, we just crossed 1,300 members, and now we're at over 1,330. So I think this is really great. I think it's amazing that guys get to see this because finally they have a lot of their questions answered. And I've just had so many guys talk about how good of results that they've gotten. And you can see that for yourself too if you check out what I made for you below. You're going to see how amazing it is. You're going to see the processes. You're going to see how much this can actually help impact your dating life. And here's the thing. If you had that one woman that you really liked or that you really loved pull away from you, the beautiful thing about the language of women is when you start to learn, understand, and internalize this process, you finally get answers and clarity to problems that you've had in the past. And on top of that, you now have solutions so that way you have a better future. This is something that took me a lot of months to put together. And the reason why I talk about it on almost every single video is because I know how good it is because I made it.